Time blindness is not real. I heard this new term the other day called time blindness, so I had to look it up. Now, back in my day, we used to call people who were habitually late rude and inconsiderate. Now it seems that society is in overdrive to excuse all sorts of bad behavior. We can't seem to hold anybody accountable for anything anymore for fear of hurting their feelings or looking bad. I've found that people are either where they're supposed to be, doing what they're supposed to be doing, or they're making excuses. And they will make as many excuses as they need to in order for people to buy into their BS and allow them to continue acting in a disrespectful way. Let's be honest for a moment. Being habitually late is a choice. And at best, it's a sign of immaturity and inability to plan. At worst, it's a sign of arrogance and selfishness. It may even be a power play for control. They're basically telling you, I'm the important one, so you can all wait for me. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who's occasionally late, or they're late with a very good reason. I'm talking about somebody who is habitually late, chronically late. They have a reputation for being late. Oftentimes, these people are so arrogant and lacking in self-awareness that they might even tell you about how bad they are with time. This is just a test to see what your tolerance will be for this sort of behavior. And if you excuse it out the gate, they're going to see how much of this nonsense you're going to put up with. This modern day notion of time blindness is ridiculous. What are we, a bunch of children that get sidetracked when we're out playing and we don't notice that the sun is setting and we're supposed to be home for dinner an hour ago? Does this person require extra attention? Do they like people chasing them around? Does it make them feel important that everyone is waiting on them? Is this just some sort of childish game? And my answer is probably, most likely. And let me state for the record, there is no such thing as time blindness. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. So how many times do you think the same person is late for a hot date, court, a doctor's appointment, their flight to go on vacation? Do you think they're ever late to get a tooth drilled or repaired? Do you think these people show up 30 or 40 minutes late to a movie that they were looking forward to? I doubt it. Do you really think these people are waltzing into work 20, 30, 40 minutes late? Do you really think their boss is going to tolerate an endless supply of excuses when everyone else seems to be able to get to work on time? And please don't bother telling me about cultural differences or how some people behave in different regions of the country, because trust me, people are not late for things that are important to them. It's an excuse. And it's an excuse they hope that you're going to buy. People who are constantly late are sending a very clear signal. And that signal is it's just not that important to them. You are not that important to them. This job or event is not that important to them. Because if it was important to them, they wouldn't constantly put you in the awkward situation of sitting by yourself waiting or having to confront them about their lack of manners and their silly excuses. They would respect their friends enough to show up when they were supposed to. They wouldn't put someone in a position of chasing them around, micromanaging them, and wondering if and when they're going to show up. A relationship requires healthy boundaries and respect to have any chance of growing or surviving. Having to constantly remind people of proper conduct is usually a red flag that these people are going to require more management than they're worth. Expect people to act like adults and respect your time. I remember when I was a kid in the 80s, a time before cell phones, when many of us kids walked to school or we rode our bikes. Others waited on a street corner for the bus to arrive. And somehow we all managed to get to school on time. A bunch of kids, not even 10 years old, and somehow we managed to get to school on time. I can remember birthday parties as a kid as far back as 3rd or 4th grade. My parents would send out invitations to 20 or 30 kids. And guess what? They all showed up when they were supposed to. They all showed up ready for the birthday party, presents in hand, on time. And you want me to believe that grown adults can't do what an 8-year-old can? You really want me to buy this baloney? The best part is, while you're sitting there waiting, these people usually insist on blowing up your phone with endless, nonsensical text messages to buy themselves more time, offering endless stories and a play-by-play detail list of all of the supposed traffic conditions and challenges that they're facing trying to get there to meet you. These same challenges that somehow you didn't have to face because you're there on time. Now, they're not only wasting your time by being late, but they're also wasting your time with endless messaging. Why? Because they weren't able to be a big person and plan ahead for possible delays. Or more to the point, they simply didn't care enough to be on time. They probably left their house 2 minutes before they were supposed to meet you. And let's be honest, this isn't a failure to plan for weather, road conditions, or constructions. They just don't think that you're worth showing up on time for. Maybe they want to see how long you're going to sit there like a goof, wondering when your very busy, very important friend is going to grace you with their presence. Maybe they're testing you to see if you have enough self-respect to not tolerate bad behavior. See if you're going to call them out or just put up with these games. They're testing boundaries. Bottom line, it's disrespectful to show up late and think people should wait around for you. We all have a watch or a cell phone that tells us what time it is. We can even set an alarm or a reminder. We have a GPS in the phone that will put us on the best route and alert us to any delays or accidents. It even tells us how long the travel time is going to be on every given route. If you're chronically late in today's world, you just don't give a crap. Simple as that. Yes, emergencies happen, traffic accidents, bridges are up, cars get blocked in, you get stuck behind some person who's driving half the speed limit. But these things are rare. And if they keep happening, it tells you this is an excuse and not a valid reason. Being late is more than just about time, or the fact that somebody's waiting, or the disruption that's caused when they finally show up and they need to be brought up to speed. It sends a very clear message to people. It demonstrates to people that they aren't very important, or at least not as important as the person who shows up when they feel like it. It suggests this person is not reliable, they can't be counted on. The BS excuses show that they're not honorable or trustworthy. What's even more disrespectful is the fact that this person thinks that they can excuse their behavior, play you for a fool. I used to let this sort of thing go to a point. Why should I get into it with people? I'm trying to go out to have a nice night, not police another grown adult who already knows better. If their parents didn't raise them correctly, I'm probably not going to have much luck getting through to them either. But that doesn't mean I have to put up with it. As I say, let people be who they are, and then you decide whether or not you want to be involved with them and to what degree. My advice, the first time this happens, let it go, but put it in the file folder. You can make mention of the time, but don't make a big deal or an issue out of it. The second time it happens, I'd make it clear that you find it unacceptable. The third time, and understand there is a very, very good chance that there will be a third time. Give this person 15 minutes worth of grace period, which is more than enough for unforeseen circumstances. After that, just get up and leave. Do not answer their calls and texts. Don't call them and text them. Just walk out the door, get in your car, and go home. Let them figure it out. Let them sit at a table or at the bar wondering where you are and when you're going to show up. Let them see what it feels like to wait around wondering. And when you decide to take their call, you just simply let them know that you were there at the agreed upon time, you waited 15 minutes, and then you left. End of discussion. No apology. If they double down, then you double down and you say, look, we've talked about this before. You still seem to be doing it, and I'm not going to put up with it. And trust me, either they're going to stop making plans with you or they're going to stop doing this. And if they continue doing it, you just cut them off. Ghost. This is a person that just can't seem to observe healthy boundaries and show basic respect to others. You're honestly better off without them. Let somebody else chase them around and play these games. You should have better things to do with your time, even if that's just sitting at home reading a dull book. Time is the one thing that we cannot save or get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. So don't let people waste your time and jerk you around with excuses. Respect yourself, respect your time, and expect other people to respect these boundaries as well. So if you like the content, please like and subscribe. Please share this with people that you know that seem to be chronically late. And until next time, thank you for joining me.